Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Antonia. I'm a third year medical student and today I'm going to be talking about some reasons why you shouldn't study medicine. Just a disclaimer, I'm not telling anybody that they should or shouldn't go into medicine or anything like that. I am not an admissions tutor or anything like that. Medicine is a really long commitment. It's minimum 5 years in the UK, or if you're somewhere like the States or Canada, you have to do a bachelor's degree before applying to go to medical school. So it's a good idea to hear about some reasons why maybe you shouldn't. So let's get into it. First one is actually something that I don't really see spoken about a lot in these kinds of videos that I've watched on YouTube. And the first reason you shouldn't do it is if you don't genuinely care about people or you don't find yourself to be an empathetic person. Literally the backbone of medicine is being empathetic, being invested enough in a person that you want to find out what's wrong with them, find out the history of what's been going on with them, and eventually diagnose and treat them. And a really big part of that is being able to take a history from someone and actually connect with someone. They say that 80% of the diagnosis is in the history, so talking to patients and finding out what's actually wrong with them. And if you're not interested in talking to people, I feel like patients really pick up on that, and you won't necessarily find taking histories very easy in medical school. Some people fake it, but at some point you won't want to fake it anymore. In medical school, everything's called OSCEs, which are examinations where you're in with actors basically who pretend to be patients, and you examine them and you take histories from them, and doctors will watch you do that basically. And if you're not an empathetic person, if your manner isn't correct, then you're not going to do well in those exams, and you need to pass those exams to become a doctor. I feel like in my experience of medical school, everything else can be taught. You can be taught the anatomy, physiology, pathophysiology, but you can't be taught how to be empathetic. So if you don't really enjoy talking to people all that much, you don't really like to get to know people, getting invested in people, that sort of thing, then maybe medicine isn't for you. A really good way to find out whether you are somebody who does like interacting with people, especially like in a more medical sense, is to volunteer. And this is why volunteering is such a big part of your medical application. Volunteering in especially places like care homes and hospices, you're going to have to talk to patients. Maybe you'll have to ask about their day, you have to ask about how they're feeling, this sort of thing. And if you're not enjoying that, then you may not enjoy talking to patients on the wards and actually having to get to know them for that. So that's something to bear in mind. Of course, if you don't find yourself to be a naturally empathetic person, I'm not calling anyone a psycho, I'm not saying that anybody is unfeeling, it's a really big part of medicine and all healthcare professions, to be honest. So that's something to definitely think about. The second reason you shouldn't do medicine is if you are not interested in lifelong learning. Lifelong learning is a massive talking point about medicine. You're constantly learning, data is constantly coming out and changing on different medical conditions. I mean, we're in the midst of COVID-19 right now. Research is always evolving and new things are always being found out. You constantly have to do exams, not just in medical school actually, but as a doctor as well. To be able to advance to become a consultant, you need to do exams to be able to get there, to show that you're qualified enough. So if you don't like exams and you don't like that way of learning, medicine may not be for you. There are a lot of exams involved in med school and involved in actually being a doctor anyway. If you want to become a specialist, then you'll need to do lots of exams. Even just in your foundation training or in your residency, you'll have to pass exams to prove your competency. I'm not particularly fond of exams, but I like the content that we're being tested on, I suppose. So I don't particularly mind, but if you really don't like exams and you don't like the feeling that you'll have to be constantly doing exams throughout your career, then medicine may not be for you. The third point is if you're wanting to do medicine for money or for any clout associated with it. And I put it like that because I've heard a couple of people who have said that they wanted to be a doctor mainly because they want to have the doctor in front of their name. Medicine is too long for you to be only doing it to get 2 letters changed in front of your name. And when it comes to money, yes, doctors who are consultants and attendings get paid quite well. However, the amount of work that goes into that, the amount of years that those doctors would have trained for, if you really just want to get money, there are definitely quicker degrees and quicker job routes to take that will get you more money than you get in medicine anyway. Don't do it for the money, don't do it for the clout, because there's a lot of work behind that, and if you're just motivated by that, when the goings get tough, you're not going to want to carry on with the course. Fourth reason, if you're being pressured into doing medicine and you don't have any interest in it, find a way to get out of it. And I know this is a lot easier said than done. I know that I'm quite privileged, I guess, in the fact that my parents are very open to what me and my siblings want to do at university. As long as we have shown that we've thought through what we want to do, my parents are normally very quick to support us. I know that some people don't really have that relationship with their parents, and if you fall into that category of people, it might be a bit harder to prove or to convince your parents that you don't want to do it. However, you can find a way. You've lived with your parents for however many years. You know them better than I would be able to know them. So if they're like my parents and they'd like to see that you've thought through a decision, maybe make a PowerPoint or talk to your parents and just lay out plans for other degrees that you want to do and tell them that, and hopefully they should understand that you don't really want to do medicine. Find a way to explain to them that you don't want to do it, because again, medicine is a lot of work and it's a lot of study. If you're not genuinely interested in it at all, then you're probably going to want to drop out and you're not going to be giving best care to your patients. So there's just no point if you're not that interested in it. And the final reason I've got here is if you don't like being left behind. Temporarily, of course. Like I've said throughout this video, medicine is a very long degree. A lot of years go into it, and that's a lot of years where you're not going to be necessarily on the same path as a lot of your friends. For example, for me, I actually took a gap year anyway, but I started medical school in 2017, September time, and I'm going to be studying until July of 2022 or 2023, depending on whether I intercalate or not. I have friends who I went to school with who are currently in full-time jobs right now, making money. So it can be difficult sometimes to look at your friends who will be making money and actually working, as opposed to me, who's in medical school and actually paying to go to medical school, not getting paid at all. And like I said, that's temporary. Of course, when you start working, then you'll be able to rise up the ranks and also make good money of your own. But if you think it's going to be something that's going to bother you, because in med school, it is pretty hard to keep a job, to be honest, even a part-time one. I know some people who do it, but it's kind of difficult. Maybe I'll make a video about how I make money in medical school or something. But yeah, if you don't like that idea of being in school while your peers and everything are working, then medicine may not be for you, because if you're constantly looking at, oh, I want to finish this as quick as possible, you're A, not going to be giving good quality care to your patients and to people that you interact with, and B, you probably will find yourself falling out of love with medicine, and you need to be somebody who is into medicine to be able to succeed. So those are my 5 reasons that you shouldn't go into medicine. I hope they've been useful. If you like this video, subscribe, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Leave any video requests you have down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.